ayrılmak yok diye diye ayrılığı uzaklara saldım. Tanıştım hasretinle, başımı baştan aldım. Şöyle bir derine daldım, dün gibi aklımda kaldın. Yanımda hep sen vardın, başımı baştan aldın.
I know that it's basically been an ongoing war over territory. Also, like those biggest issues is religion. The Israelis are prominently Judeo-Christian, and Palestinians are Muslim. And yeah, pretty much ongoing conflict. Keep shooting at each other. Each wants, like, Palestinians can be right over the territory that Israel has. Maybe I'll just keep it. I don't really like picking sides. I mean, like, dominantly, like, Americans have been backing up Israel. Again, like, it's probably like the whole religion thing, but both sides are still being stubborn and shooting at each other. I mean, I guess I would go with Israel, but I really don't think that's the issue at all. Like which side is right at this point.
Well, I know that it dates back to the day that Israel was founded and the day afterwards, where a war broke out. And since then, there hasn't been a decade without a war in Israel. And granted, the wars are with the Arab countries surrounding Israel, but the Arab countries, as far as I know, generally tend to support the Palestinians, simply because they're all Arabs, basically. And they're not really quite fond of Israel to begin with. I know that since all of the suicide bombings have been going on in Israel, they built the wall or the fence or whatever you're going to call it to help stop and slow down those suicide bombings. And since it was put up, those bombings have pretty much stopped for all intents and purposes. And of the displacement of the Palestinians to the Gaza Strip, and of all the security measures being put down the Gaza Strip, like on the border, to prevent Israelis going to there and Palestinians leaving. It's not, I know it's not so much like you can't just like go there. From what I understand, there are just a lot of security measures. I'm aware of the fact that Israel tends to control the trade both in and out of the Gaza Strip and of supplies going to and from the Palestinians. I would choose the Israelis, without a doubt. Because, number one, I have very strong family roots in Israel. My family was one of the founding families of Tel Aviv, which is a major city in Israel. And personally, when I was in Israel in 2006, I was in Haifa when Lebanon bombed it. And it was one of the most jarring experiences of my life. And although I have met Palestinians or have met Arabs that I like and that I'm friends with, generally, as an overarching feeling, I suppose, I'm pretty uncomfortable around. I'm pretty uncomfortable with the whole situation, simply because of who I am. I am Israeli. I have Israeli citizenship, and yeah, I believe I'm a Zionist. I believe that Israel should exist, and I do also believe that there needs to be something done, because this whole thing is absolutely ridiculous.
I know that I'm not exactly clear about why they've spent so long fighting over land that they all think is theirs. Their, like, homeland. They think that, or everybody thinks that it's theirs, and I just don't understand why it has to be, why they can't all just compromise. Don't get it. Do I have to pick a side? I mean, I wouldn't pick a side because I one over the other. Everybody's gonna be upset. I don't know. I think they should make Jerusalem a historic landmark site and eradicate all people from it, and then everybody can just enjoy it. It's beautiful. Big mountain house.
I'm Dr. Janet Sorrentino. Well, my own field is in history. I teach history, but mostly ancient history, so a lot of what I think about has to do with the fact that the situation between Israel and Palestine is extremely unique. And I think about it in a couple of ways. Israel was a state up until the first century of the Common Era, and then it disappeared as a state, but the people continued. And then it reformed again in 1948. This is a situation that's, I think, almost unique in the whole history of the world. And then you add to that the situation where, for some reason, the world seems to watch what's going on. There's other nations that have come and gone throughout other continents around the world, but the eyes are on what happens in Israel and Palestine, and I think that complicates it even further. So since 1948, Israel has been at war with the people of Palestine, and I worry that the peace process will always be vulnerable in every generation to the people on both sides who have been hurt in one way or another by the wars or by terrorism on both sides. As long as there's one person or one group of people who have been hurt in every generation, the possibility is always there for someone to break the peace process. I personally would like to see a two-state solution, but I'm also concerned about what would happen in the negotiations to bring that about. I would advocate for a two-state system. I do think that because both sides have some concern about whether or not the U.S. has too much vested interest in the area, I would personally like to see a more disinterested party negotiating the peace accords, because I think that it affects the peace process to have both sides concerned about the vested interests of the United States.